Hey everybody, Cole here with Classic Mini DIY, and on today's episode we are getting started. We're going to start stripping the Mini and get it over to the paint shop. We have 5 days to get the car stripped down and ready to roll. All right, so as I said before, we have got to get my car stripped down and ready for paint. More specifically, to get it over to the sandblaster. I'm very lucky that the paint shop let me know that they have an opening much sooner than I originally thought, which means that the car can go in and get painted sooner. Now, on one hand, this is going to be great because it means the car will be back to me much sooner, but the flip side of that is that I have to strip the car down right now, get everything out of it, and ready to roll. And that's not a small task, but it is something that needs to happen. Now, on top of all of this, there is something big and crazy going on in the background, and that is I'm moving. This house and this garage is actually going to be retired from Classic Mini DIY, as you guys know it, and we're going to be moving into a new house with a new 2-car garage. Very exciting stuff, and all of that is a backdrop to what is about to happen. Now, the last 2 episodes were a lot of talking, so I'm not going to do a lot in this video. We're going to get straight into the work, and I'm going to show you guys what it takes to tear down a Mini in 5 days. But before I get started, I do want to mention that if you guys like this project, you like these episodes as they start to continue on, and you want to help support the build and support the channel, head over to my merch store or to my Patreon. That's store.classicminidiy.com or patreon.com/classicminidiy. Both ways are really great ways to help support this channel and to support this big project that we're taking on right now. But with that out of the way, let's get over to the car and start taking stuff apart. Now, stripping down a car is not that complicated. It's actually much simpler than putting one back together, as you guys probably can imagine. But my car is going to be a little bit different in that a lot of the components that are here inside this engine bay, but also in the car itself, are going to be listed for sale because they are very new and nice items. So I'll have things like my turbo setup, my throttle body. There will be components off of the engine that I will take off and sell as well. My rally dash is going to get upgraded. I am working with the gentleman who made the first one to make a new one. And what that means is that the one I have currently is going to go up for sale as well. So for those of you who have liked the parts that I've used over the years and maybe you want to pick some up for your car, all of these are going to be well priced and used from my car, but they're going to be working and great for your car. So for this episode, I'm going to focus on getting the work done, which means that I'm not going to be showing or explaining a whole lot of what I'm doing, at least not in the same way that you're probably used to. And hopefully you guys enjoy the project and getting everything torn down. So let's get going. All right, so we are jumping ahead just a little bit here because it has been about 4 days since we started the teardown of this classic Mini, and I needed to buckle down and get some work done on that. Now, I was editing through the kind of time-lapse footage and everything, and honestly, it was not that exciting, and I don't think you guys would have liked it so much. So I went ahead and trimmed out and made it, got the interesting bits in there, and now we are on the way up to Skin and Bones Performance here in, it's actually in Salisbury, North Carolina, which is about an hour away from Charlotte. Well, once we get there, we're obviously gonna unload the shell, we're gonna get the doors out, we're gonna get all the bits that are actually getting blasted out of the back of the truck and into their shop, and then they are gonna take it away. Now, I actually started trying to pull up the sound deadening that was in the car. I had installed sound deadening over the years, and it was very effective, but it also does not want to come out. I tried the dry ice method, I tried soaking it in acetone, I tried all sorts of different things. I think that I'm gonna leave it to the pros. I know it's probably gonna be a little bit more money, but I'll get somebody who knows how to do it to actually take that sound deadening off. But they are gonna strip down the Mini all the way down to bare metal. We're gonna find all the rust spots on it, we're gonna find all the holes in it, and we're gonna have to fix those. Now, once those are fixed, the car and the shell is gonna come back to my house so I can start planning out the wiring and planning out how everything's gonna lay out on the inside of the car. Normally, that step where it comes back to me might not be necessary, so if you're building out one of these cars yourself and you're using a factory loom, you might not necessarily need to do that. But since I'm doing a fully custom loom, I'm doing a whole bunch of custom setup and everything, I want to make sure that it's done right the first time. And when I cut those holes, I'm not cutting into brand new paint, I'm actually cutting into primer, and then that can be reprimed, and then everything gets painted all at once. So let's jump ahead where we're unloading this. So catch you in a minute. Well, everyone, that's it. That's it for the Blue Mini. It's never going to be blue again. It is getting blasted as we speak, and it is also it for this garage. As you can see, we have fully descended into moving chaos. The garage is packed up and ready to move to the new place, and we're going to start the next chapter of our lives, but also the next chapter of Classic Mini DIY. It's kind of sad. It's a little bit bittersweet. But this garage has been through so much. Obviously, when I moved in here, it was simply just a carport. And then we enclosed it, blew out the workspace behind here, and it lived and served me very, very well across all these years. So I definitely appreciate this space, but we are going to be moving to a bigger space with a 2-car garage. It's a slightly oversized 2-car garage, and it should be a nice growth spot and a nice place for me to grow and expand into more projects. And of course, the most important one right now, the Resto-mod Mini. So next time you guys see me will be after we're in the new space, probably after I get the car back from the sandblasters so we can start mocking things up, cutting holes, doing all sorts of crazy fun stuff. But be patient with me because it's going to be a little bit before we get that all set up and in a place where I can film, but I'm looking forward to it. So to officially wrap us up here, you guys know the drill. Until I see you on the next one, enjoy those minis and motor on.